Welcome to the first Tech Friday of the Going the Distance speaker series. My name is William Kuskin, and today we are going to be covering, really Donna Hall is going to be covering, basics of Canvas and some of the services continuing ed can offer the College of Engineering. I wanted to start us off by saying this is really the first week of our series, and it is the first Tech Friday. And my goal for this series overall is to use Mondays to think kind of broad, expansive thoughts, to follow them up through the week, Wednesdays and Thursdays, with opportunities for tutorials, and then Fridays to sink in to some of the technological affordances. But my thinking overall is that we're at a really strange and unique moment right now. And that moment, obviously it's an ambivalent one, deeply ambivalent. But we shouldn't forget that it's also a moment of opportunity. It's a moment for us all to think about what it is to teach. And because it forces us to rethink what the classroom is, what that space is, it also asks us all to be beginners once again. And there's certainly a kind of destabilizing effect in that sense of beginnerness. There's no question that to be a beginner again, in many ways, is threatening, but it's also joyous, I think. It's also a chance to say, wait, I've been at this, dang.
It's open 8 to 4 tomorrow.
I've been at this 30 years now, and I can start again. I can start rethinking the wonderful things I do and maybe the things that I've fallen into a rut around. So all this is to say, there will be mistakes, there will be things we wish we could do better, but there is also opportunity. There is also a chance to rethink and to move ahead in a new mode. And that in many ways is a rare event. So I wanted to start us off by framing the issue as an opportunity. And I wanted also to introduce Donna Hall, who is a learning, well, I'm going to botch up your title, Donna.
Instructional designer from the Learning Design Group.
In the Learning Design Group in Continuing Ed. She has tremendous experience in many, many technological platforms. And every Friday, she's going to focus us on one. So today, she's going to focus us on Canvas and a general overview of some of the services Continuing Ed can provide. With no further ado, let me turn it over to Donna.
Hi, everybody.
Excuse me for a second, William. I'd like to add somewhere in the series or propose something that I'd like to learn, and it's related to Canvas, is Gradescope in validating original works in programming. So Turnitin is great if to validate that student's original work on writing a report, but it doesn't work in programs. For my classes that the students write in doing C development. Gradescope actually has an application that will do that. And like, if you use just Gradescope as your LMS, I understand how to use that, but I don't know how to use that within the scope of Canvas. And so I love, it's not just me, I know that all the embedded systems engineering master's programs interested in this, and I'm assuming CS would be as well. So I'd like to just propose, William, if you don't mind, or if I don't know if there's another process to add that somewhere in the series.
That's wonderful. So let me just say that Donna and I are open to any questions and proposals. You can certainly bring it up here, or you can email me and ask for us to do a presentation on this. I don't know Gradescope. I'm sure Donna does, and we will. Okay.
No, I've not been able to get help from OIT. I even asked OIT, and they came back negative.
So I am guessing to put it in with D2L or with Canvas. it would have to be integrated, and that's not a program that's integrated with Canvas right now, and it has to go through the process.
It's in Canvas right now. I mean, I can actually open up my Canvas class and use Gradescope.
Okay, what I need to do is meet with you so you can show me a little of it, and then I'll go figure it out.
I appreciate it. So as an offline, Donna and I need to have another call. But yeah, I'd like to show you a little bit of what I know, because I did get a demo from Gradescope about 6 months ago. This was before it was integrated, before Gradescope became part of Canvas on our campus.
Okay.
But I just don't know exactly how to work it. But yeah, I could show you that. So that's an action item that Donna and I will need to follow up on.
That's great.
So just so you know, if there is something that I don't know, our team will research it. If it's something that we can do, if it's something that absolutely we can't do in Canvas, has to be an outside product, we'll let you know. But we will, that's one of the things we're available for. We can go in and try to look and help you research stuff.
Okay.
But if we can't help you, then we will say this is above and beyond what we can do.
It sounds great. Thanks, Donna.
Okay.
Great. Keith, please loop me into that communication, and then I'll stay on top of it as well.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Okay. So just a little background on me. I've been at CU since November as an instructional designer. Prior to that, I was the D2L manager for Front Range Community College. And prior to that, I was the instructional design team coordinator at Colorado Community Colleges Online. And before that, I was at Front Range again as the faculty development coordinator. So I've had a lot of different titles in higher education here. I also have taken a lot of classes online along with Teach Online. I tend to, when I look at people's courses, act as a student. So if I have questions or you have ideas, I will give you the student's perspective, and I try to pretend that I am not the brightest student in the class. So just kind of look at it from that. So understand where I'm coming from if I make a suggestion or ask a question. That's kind of how I do it. So today I thought what we'd start out with was just kind of an overview of Canvas and some little tips and tricks you may or may not be aware of. So let me share my screen here. And I'm one of those people that like questions. So if you have a question, feel free to unmute and ask it right away. If I show you something and it's not, you didn't quite catch it, tell me and I'll repeat it. This is to help you all. So I'll do it the best, however you all learn, that's how I will do it for you. So the first thing to be aware of, if you're not familiar with this, is you need to request your Canvas course shells. These are not automatically created for you, okay? So make sure that you request your shells, and I'm gonna open chat here so I can give you this URL. So give me just a sec. So there's the request Canvas shell. There's 3 types of Canvas shells. There's your regular academic course shell. There is a community shell, and that's if you want to set up a shell for a group and people can self-register in it, or you can enroll people in it. Excuse me. You can do that, and you can also request a sandbox. So a course shell where you can go in and play and try different things without having anybody in it. So sandbox is really helpful, and you all might already have a sandbox. I'll show you how to find that in a minute. But just be aware, this tells you the types, talks about the different types, and gives you the link and tells you how to create it. So you do have to request your shells. Highly recommend for fall you request now, because as we get closer to fall and a lot of people are requesting, things kind of slow down and or break. So get them requested now so you have them. Excuse me, I'm still having problems from all the smoke we had around a couple of days ago, so forgive me while I cough. The other thing, the Learning Design Group has a website, and in it, and we call ourselves LDG. Yeah, there's that URL. But in it, on the first page, we have virtual office hours that are Wednesdays 2 to 3:30 and Thursdays 1 to 11:30. And we just added all the July times. These are open, walk in, ask you questions. You know, it's just kind of like a walk-in help. We have all sorts of different questions. We have some people that just come in and say, I'm just coming in to listen to what other people ask. Or they come in and say, tell me something. It's like, well, what do you want to tell? The link to it is here. We'll have a announcement up in Canvas again. It just expired, so it's not up right now. But, and then if you have other questions, you can email our group to ask other questions, or if you want a one-on-one private session. We've also created this Remote 2020 link. Kind of talks you through what we can help you with, and you can kind of either navigate this way or over here. Talks about the difference between remote and online, some basics of what you should have in your course. These are the calendars for summer and fall sessions. The fall sessions we don't have up yet, but we have the summer up. We have some support options that you can come, but these are the two big ones. So resources, getting a lot of questions about recording lectures. So we have some suggested tools and some best practices. We have information about exam proctoring. This one is a lot of times people will say, well, I want my students to do this. Well, how do I tell them to do it? One of the big ones is instructors set up a introduction discussion, and they want students to record a video. So we have how to do that in here. So you can feel free to download these or link to them so that you can give them to your students. We have other CU Boulder resources. And then we have links to other sites that we have found that might be helpful. So there's a lot of information in here. And finally, we have tutorials, and these are all sorts of different tutorials for Canvas. And some of them are videos, some of them are step-by-step guides. We are constantly adding to this. So if we get questions and we say, and you know, can you create us a video or a tutorial, we put it in and we mark them as new when we're adding stuff. But we go down through each tool and try to do this as much as we can to kind of help you. So you can see here, we have a lot. And these, just so you see, so the Canvas guides are things that have been done by Canvas. The step-by-step guides I actually did. So they're downloadable and just kind of walk you through and tell you about stuff. So just so you have those. And at the bottom here, we also talk about Turnitin City Labs, which is a design tool in Canvas that you can add a whole bunch of extra features in your pages. Kaltura, we have some videos, Zoom, And then Census Access, which is a program that you can submit PDFs that have been scanned in as pictures instead of text, and it'll convert them to text so that students that are using screen readers can use them. So just so you're aware, we have all of this. So if you got a question, quick, come in here, take a look, see if we have something, or join us for our office sessions, or email the LGD group, and it's just ldg@colorado.edu.
Donna, I didn't see, is it Post-it or there's that program that you can actually add your videos and add questions or quizzes inside your videos?
That's part of Kaltura, is one of them. We don't have and that Kaltura does a basic one, and I'm thinking
I've been looking at.
might not have that up yet. I know we're working on it. The other tool is Proctorio, which is a little more advanced and a much steeper learning curve.
Well, I'm actually using another tool within Canvas that Dr. Bob McLeod showed me. I think it's like Post-it. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I was using the wrong term. It's PlayPost.
Oh, PlayPost. That's
PlayPosit.
it. Yeah, PlayPosit. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that I'm saying it's those P words. Proctorio is the exam proctor.
Yeah.
PlayPosit. Yeah. And that one's a good one too. It has more questions. It's, like I said, a steeper learning curve. But we don't have that up yet.
Yeah,
it's something we're working on because it's a little harder to create those videos all.
Yeah, because I talked to them and it looked like they added some features that just went in the most recent revision or version that got added to our Canvas a couple weeks ago that actually, I think, make it more beneficial. I don't know the Kaltura one, but to be used towards flipped classroom.
Okay.
So I don't know how Kaltura works, but I'm going to be looking at
We do have, the Kaltura one we do have set up for one of the Tech Fridays.
Yeah.
And it's just real easy, multiple choice, true, false, pretty easy to do. But it's not as robust.
Yeah, is it integrated, the results of Kaltura go right into your gradebook?
Yep.
Okay.
It does, and it's through My Media in Canvas. I'll show it to you if we have time at the end a little bit.
Well, I need to go in a few minutes. I just wanted to, since you had that list of help, I didn't see PlayPosit there. That's why I just wanted to. Yeah. I apologize for breaking in, but I just wanted to see if you're going to create some information for PlayPosit as well.
I will let our group know. We need to. I know we're working on them. We just haven't gotten them all done yet.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So once you get your Canvas course, some things to be aware of so you know. On your home page, this just changed. Your published courses are at the top. Unpublished courses are at the bottom. Unpublished courses, students cannot see. So if you don't publish your course, they can't see it. We highly recommend you publish your course 2 days prior to when students have access. And for fall, they usually get access early, a couple days early. So be aware of that. I'll show you how you can tell. On the left-hand side here is the global navigation. So this is always here. On the right-hand side are assignments that need to be graded. Be aware if you don't have due dates, they can come up in a funky order. If you have due dates, it will put them in order by the due date. It does not know how to handle ones without dates. If you have stuff that's coming up in the future, it'll be listed here. And then a lot of people don't know about this view grades, but this view grades here, all your courses and the grades that are the average and how many students. And then you can come in here and see each student, what their current score is, anything that you haven't graded for them or email them. So it's just kind of a quick overview that a lot of people don't realize is available.
Donna, I have another question. Sorry for being the person that brings up all the
Oh
questions.
no, ask as many questions as you want.
I do have some extra credit assignments that I offer my students, and the only way I know how to implement them in Canvas right now is I create an assignment and I give it a weight. And so at the end of the semester, it's still out of 100, but say I might have 102 points, right? And so at the end of the semester, everything works out well. But at the point that a student does not decides not to do the extra credit, right? And I'm not up to the 100 points yet, it will actually show that their grades have gone down instead of not affecting the grade at all. And so I always have to explain that it will always work out at the end. And so I didn't know what is the best practices of adding extra credit assignments so that the grades don't look like, by not doing the extra credit, that I've actually hurt my grade.
That's something I would need to meet with you individually and look at how you have stuff set up.
Yeah.
To verify how you've got it set up for me to say exactly, because people do it a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
So again, feel free, reach out. We'll set up a meeting and I'll look and see what you have, or send me your course and tell me what you want me to look at, and I'll look at it and send you an email.
Well, maybe we can look at it when we have our call regarding our first topic, grade scope.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
So other quick things here, just so you know, you can change this picture or just do an overlay, and I'll show you how to do that. You can also change what's displayed. So this is the card view. I can do a list view or just list anything that I need to do. And then I can switch back to card view. I think the card view is the best. These icons show you different things in your course. If there's a number, it means, so if I saw 3 here, it means that there are 3 assignments I need to grade. Okay. So it just kind of tells you if there's stuff, if you click these icons, it takes you directly to it.
Donna?
Uh-huh.
Can I ask you about going back to the due dates? You indicated about, and I'm looking at as an example, you have a no due date. That is something that so the question that I have is, the no due date is automatic if I don't put dates. Is there any way that I can put ongoing, for example? So if I don't have a due date, it's because in certain cases they have to keep putting things on there. Is there a way to edit that?
No, it's either a blank due date or a due date.
Okay.
There's no difference between them.
Okay, great.
I mean, no other options.
No other options. Great. Thank you.
Okay. So let's go into a course. So on the course homepage, again, we have our global, but now we have our course navigation. We have the main content area. And then over here, we have some things. So if I wanted to export my course, I could. To set a homepage, you do have to say what file should be used for a homepage. You can create a new announcement here, or you can go to announcements on the left. Student view, I highly recommend you use it to check your course and make sure everything views like you think it should. So it takes you in a student view. As you see, when I go in, it deletes all the links that I have hidden from students, so you see exactly what the student sees. And then you kind of see what they see in their to-do list. Okay. On the left-hand side here, one thing to be aware of in the global navigation is your account. So notifications are, if you want to be notified of any of these things, you can set up how you want to be notified. Do you want a text? Do you want it on the calendar? How do you want it? Each person has their own notifications. So each person can set their notifications up differently. You can set it to notify right away, have a daily summary, a weekly summary, or don't send me anything. This is for every single course it'll send you. Your profile, highly recommend you upload your picture, because then it shows in discussions and, you know, gives students so they can see you. You can fill out the rest of this if you want to. Files are files that you've uploaded into any of your courses. Name coach, this is a good one if you have a name that's hard to pronounce. You can actually come in and record your name so that students know how your name is pronounced. So we're back on the dashboard. One other quick tip, if you come into courses and you click all courses, it'll list every single course you have access to as an instructor or a student or a designer. I have access to every course in Canvas, but it doesn't show those, just these roles. If you want courses to, if you have more than enough courses to show on the dashboard and you want certain courses to show, if you click these stars and mark them as what they call favorites, it makes sure that it shows on the dashboard. So if you're missing a course, come in here. Some of you are going to have really long lists. Find the course and mark it as a favorite, and it'll move it up in the list on the dashboard. So when you get your course, you know, it's blank and you have to put content in it. But one of the first things you want to do is go into settings. If you want your dashboard to have an image, you upload the image for your course right here. What you don't want to do is change any of this, even though you have time, you have the ability to, because if you go in and change your course name or course code, people that are looking for your courses can't find them. So leave these the way they are. Same thing, this lets you know when students have access. So if you wonder when students have access, come look at the start date. If you wonder when students lose access, which is usually 2-3 weeks after the semester ends, this is the date they lose access. If you want students to have access outside of these dates, you can check this, but make sure you don't keep it checked all the time, or you end up with students that have access to this course forever, and they might try to submit stuff. Okay, leave most of the rest of this alone, but the one thing I want to show you is down here, hidden under more options. So if you want announcements to show on your course homepage, you need to check this. The default is unchecked. And then you can set how many announcements will show up. You can also decide what you're going to let students do. I highly recommend you uncheck this, let students create discussion topics. So if you're doing discussions, you want to create the topic and then you want the students to reply to the topic. Makes it so it's easy to grade. If you let students create their own topics, it's going to be really, really hard to follow and find what students are doing. So unfortunately, the default is to let them create them. You need to uncheck this. Let students edit or delete their own discussion posts. I've heard pros and cons to that, so that's up to you. Let students organize their own groups. You can do that. Then there's some options for grading. And then if you want students to comment on announcements, would highly recommend you don't do this, or you watch your announcements carefully. So if there's an inappropriate comment, you get it caught really quick. If you change any of this, make sure you update the course details, which I always forget. The other thing in here is navigation. So anything in your top list, students can see. Anything in the bottom list, students cannot see. So what you want to do is move things, tools that you are not using in your class for students down below. And then rearrange the order of these. I recommend putting them in the order that students might use them. So that I would actually put down here by grade, so you can drag and drop. But you know, you want them to look at the announcements, you want them to go to modules and look at the content. And then they've got assignments, discussions, quizzes, grades. If you're using the attendance tool, my media would be any of your videos. The multi-tool is a tool I'll show you here in a minute. But just so you are aware of this. Any questions on that? Again, if you edit anything, make sure you save. And it always, and then that last one to just take a glance at is this feature options. So there's a number of different grade books. The normal grade book, we just turn all of these off and then your regular Canvas gradebook comes up. If you want to be able to override your final grades, if you want to sort your gradebook, if you are doing Mastery Pass, which you need for this Mastery gradebook, this new quizzes tool, highly recommend you leave it turned off right now. It is not user-friendly and is not very functional. So highly recommend you don't use that tool. So that's kind of what's in here. Some other things over here on the right under settings, this is how you would import or course content. So if someone has content or you have content in another course, you want to import it. You do not want to copy and paste it. If you have content in another course with a link to something in that course and you copy and paste that content, it will still be linked to the other course, which means you as the instructor click the link and it works. If you're a student and click the link, it will not work because the student doesn't have access to that other course. So instead, do the import course content. You come in here and you go copy a Canvas course, find the course you're looking for. And then if I only want specific things, I select specific content, hit import, and what it'll do is it'll put this right here. And I'm just going to cancel that one so I don't have another. But then I can come in here to select content. I can expand these out to find a specific module, a specific assignment. So I can keep expanding a specific page or file and grab what I want and import it in. Questions on that?
Donna, that's really interesting. So let's say this was my course and I wanted to import something from your course. Do I need to get permission from you? Is there a moment at which I need to verify that
You have to be enrolled in both courses.
I have to be enrolled in both courses. So
Yeah.
if I wanted to
You want to copy from another course, you need access to both courses.
If I wanted to get permission to import from another HERP professor, I would need to contact the ask them to enroll me, and then I could go in and literally select items out that I wanted.
Yeah.
That's
Or
amazing.
other things you can do now. So if I go into pages, all right, and I'm going to tell you some differences here. Pages are your HTML files. If I want to send just one page, I can do this and go send to. And it'll send it to them. Or I can go copy to. So this is brand new. Okay. So pages is a list of every single HTML file you have in your course. Highly recommend you don't make this visible to students because you might have pages in here you don't want them to see. What you do is link them into the modules so that students see them through the modules. Files are other files other than HTML, PDFs, Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, pictures, files. Again, don't give them access to the whole thing. You might have something there you don't want them to see. Just link whatever you want in your module.
But what's amazing about this particular function is a department could make some standard pages, whether they're a welcome page or university policies or particular department policies. A department administrator could make some pages and essentially make them available to every Canvas course.
Well, there's no way to put them in every Canvas course, unfortunately.
But the individual instructors could then import them, right?
If they have access to the course that has the files.
Donna, may I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
So I have definitely, so each semester I import my previous semester's course into the current course and sort of work on the basis of that. The past 2 semesters, I've had a lot of problems with the links, just as you described. When I open them, they're fine. But when students try to open them, they're not fine. And that's having done the import. Do you have any sense of why that might be happening, even if I'm just importing the course?
I don't. We'd have to look at it individually to try to figure it out.
Okay, thanks. I can contact you about that.
Really, yeah. If you hit that, let me know and we'll look at it and try to figure out what's going on.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Because most of the time they've copied and pasted one little section of a file. So they've edited by copy and pasting a paragraph. So it's pointing to the wrong course. So pages and files. The other one to be aware of is assignments that I see people making mistakes in. Assignments are any graded item you have. So a submitted assignment, a graded discussion, a graded quiz. What you don't want to put in assignments is files, because anything that is in here will also create a grade column in your grade book. So I saw one instructor who actually made categories of module 1, module 2, module 3, put all of his files in here that students had to read, and then couldn't understand why his grade book was so messed up. It was because it was going to grade everything that was in here. So again, this is basically your grade book. These are the columns in your grade book. So if you're not using something like normally, I would delete these categories just by clicking here and hit the delete. So just be aware of that. You don't want anything extra in assignments. Put it under modules. One of the other things to be aware of, and I'm just going to show you the basics of this. There is what's called a multi-tool. This is part of City Labs, but the two things that really helps instructors do things fast is this due date modifier. So you copy courses from the other semester and now you need to modify dates. You can actually come in here, it will grab your assignments, discussions, quizzes, pages, everything. It will show you the dates and you can modify them. You can also set blackout dates. So you could set a blackout date for the Thanksgiving holiday. And it won't let you schedule on those days. So if there are blackout dates, you can set those. You can set a default time so everything is due always at 11:59 p.m. So you don't have to keep adding the time. You can do a bulk update. So it's a much quicker way than clicking each thing individually to edit dates. So just be aware of that one. And then the other one is when you copy your announcements over, they come over and release. Okay. So if you don't see the multi-tool, go into settings. And under your navigation, find the multi-tool in this bottom list and pull it up into the top list. Students can't see this tool. And once you pull it up, remember to scroll all the way bottom and hit save. I always forget that. And then refresh your page and you'll see it. So anyway, this announcements tool, you can now come in if you have a whole bunch of announcements and set these to post during the semester. So change the dates that they show up instead of all of them showing up at the same time. Questions on this?
Donna, I have a question.
Sure.
So using the example of the instructor who put the files, say a Word document in the assignments file, and that's a no-no. But I am importing that course to this new course. It's probably that Word file is gonna go under the I'm assuming under assignments again, right? So I'm assuming that I'm gonna have to just, do I remove it, copy and paste it where it needs to be, or how do I put it where it needs to be?
If it's a file, it's gonna be in files, okay? Even though it's listed in assignments.
Got it. So it automatically understands what, got it.
Yeah, so all you would do is come in here and let's just say in here, I added an assignment. I have to figure out how he got it in here. I haven't even looked at that, but I had a file in here. I would just drop the little arrows down and it would tell you to remove it.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to delete it. Just get it out of assignments. It doesn't delete out of files. If you're not sure, make sure you have a copy of the file on your computer at home. Just to be said, I'm one of those people that I have copies of all my files and all my pages on my computer and also on a backup disk. I'm paranoid, but but make sure you have copies before you hit the word delete is what I tell people. So you can just get it out of here. And then when you go into modules and I want to add a file, I just come to whatever module I want. I hit this plus sign. I can go to file or page, grab whichever one I want, hit add item. What it does is it puts it at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
and then I can grab it and move it to wherever I want it. And then make sure you publish it. Okay. If you go, oh, wrong file, I'm just going to come here and remove it. So it still stays in my pages or my files. It just removes it out of here.
Mm-hmm.
If, now I tell people is you want to use Chrome because it works better. I had an instructor I was working with yesterday, and he was uploading videos. He was trying to create quizzes with Kaltura, and it was freezing on him, and it was really slow uploading, and he was using Safari. And I said, how about trying to use Chrome? And he emailed me a half hour later and goes, oh my God, it's so much faster. So highly recommend using Chrome. There are certain things that don't work, especially in Safari. There's a known issue with images not showing up. So if you have a student that says they don't see an image in a file or in a quiz or in a discussion, ask them if they're using Safari. Because if they are, they need to switch to Chrome. And then they'll see it, or Firefox. But Chrome we have found is the best. Okay. So those are some real basics about Canvas. What questions do you all have that I can help you with?
Donna, I have a question about the multi-tool. You're showing it as if the students are can see it, right?
Yeah, well, they can't. That's one of the things that they can't see, even though it's there.
Even though it's on, for us, it appears as if they can see it. They really
And if you're not sure, go home and click Student View.
Yeah, got it.
Notice it's not there.
Got it. Yeah.
So always click the Student View and verify.
Thank you.
So there are certain tools that are strictly for you as the instructor. So one of the things, the My Media tool, this My Media tool actually, don't worry that because when you go into it, this is going to show you every single video you have in all of your classes that you've uploaded to Kaltura. Don't worry that, oh, students are going to see all these videos. My Media tool for them, they only see their videos that they've uploaded. Okay, you actually have to link to these in content in order to, in a module, in order for them to see them. Okay, but students and you can come into My Media. You can upload media if you already have MP3, MP4 files or audio files you can upload, or you can use Kaltura Capture, download the little program, and you can create your videos through it. It will automatically upload to Kaltura. Just be aware that the upload can be slow if a lot of people are uploading, and you do not turn your computer while it's uploading. Don't turn your computer off. You've got to let it keep running. So I tell people, try to upload your videos early morning, late at night. It's faster. You might have to just let it run overnight. Don't expect to upload a video 5 minutes before the class starts. It's got to upload and it's got to convert. So I've seen it take 5 minutes. I've seen it take 3 hours. It depends on how many people are trying to upload at a time. You can also create video quizzes. Easiest way to do that, and I've got one here, is in Kaltura. Again, this is a much quicker, faster way to do it. I can come in here and use this launch editor, and it'll let me add multiple choice true false questions. Good way to verify that students at least have clicked the link and the video has run through and they've answered the questions. Doesn't guarantee that they've paid attention. to the video, but it is a way to do it. The other tool, Proctorial, or not Proctorial,
Wait, pause it.
PlayPosit, thank you. Again, is a little more involved, but it does give you more options. Other questions?
So the My Media is similar to files or pages in that it is a repository for your documentation, in this case, video documentation, that you access for things like assignments, announcements, modules, or quizzes. Is that correct?
Okay, it is, it's kind of, yeah, it's like a repository. Again, yeah, we have to come in here and we have to add them. So, you know, if I want to add a video, I go to whatever file I want to add it to and embed it in. And it's real easy to do if it's in Kaltura, because I can just come down here, hit this little V, and go embed Kaltura media.
Donna, would you speak for a moment on why Kaltura exists as opposed to just using either YouTube or trying to upload a video directly into the files of Canvas?
Okay. So Kaltura is a streaming service in that, you know, it'll stream the videos, make it for people on slow internet connections to make it so the video isn't breaking up on them. It's in it's in Canvas, so it makes it easy. And of course, right now it's going to decide to take its time to load. You don't have to worry about fooling around with embed code if you're using a YouTube video. Although the nice thing about Canvas is with YouTube, if you put the URL in, it'll actually automatically embed for you, which is kind of nice. But if you have to play around with it at all, it doesn't. For YouTube, you don't have the options of changing size or anything as easily as you can in Kaltura. This is the problem we're seeing right now, is that Kaltura has been on and off as far as getting things linked. And I know they're working on this. There we go. So it lists everything that I have, and then I can select to embed it as large, medium, or small. Looks like right now it's not letting me do anything but large, but normally this will, there you go, large, medium, or small. The other thing is you can come into this shared repository. You've kind of got to know what has been uploaded, but the library has taken a lot of their videos and put them in this shared repository. So you do a chat with Ask the Librarian, you ask them about a video, get the title of it, and you can come in here and find it. So there's a lot of different videos in here that they've put up. And then some instructors have uploaded videos that they've decided to share with people. So you just have to come in here and search for something and see if you can find the video. But if it's a library video, ask them. If it's not, if they don't have it up in Kaltura, there's a digital media services which will convert it and put it up into Kaltura for you. So I've done that. If you need information on that, let me know and I can send you information on who you contact on that. As far as using YouTube, you know, when you put it up in YouTube, you're giving YouTube the rights to it. You can set it as private so not everybody can see it. So you can put it up there. You do not want to upload it to your files in Canvas. Each Canvas course has a limit of the number of this amount of space it's allowed to be on your server. on the Canvas server. And if you hit that space, you can't upload anything. The other thing is Canvas is not a streaming server. So if a student is on a slow internet connection and they're trying to play a video that you put in files, it won't play right. It will keep skipping on them or hesitating. They got to keep waiting for it to load. So do not upload videos or any large media files to files in Canvas. They need to go up to Kaltura.
Donna, Alana has a question about modifying pages. Alana, did you want to jump in?
Thank you so much. Sorry, I thought we were only scheduled until 12:30, so I'm happy that we have time for this. Donna, if we already have our course built and we have the modules in, but it's because I've been using it for semester over semester, it's just really basic. It's not very visually appealing. Is there an easy way to push that into sort of a more visual appealing template, or is it something where I'd have to start from the beginning?
Well, something that William and I on a group have been discussing is creating template pages that could be copied into people's courses. And what we're kind of like, these are, what you're seeing here is a template that we use with continuing ed, but I am willing to share these with anybody and then show you how to use them. But this is a homepage template. And then in modules, we have this kind of a to-do list, and it's kind of just to remind you what you need to remember to do before the semester starts. And this could be edited. This is another home page. Let me get back here. So we have start here templates. So one where you would put your welcome video in here, and then it directs them, here's what you need basically to do the first day.
I'd love to have access to a template like this.
Yeah.
If we could have it, I think that this makes it really easy, and it would be easy to sort of copy and paste.
So right now, if you want a template, just send me, you want these templates, just send me your course as it's listed in Canvas. So make sure you've requested your course first. Or if you want it in your sandbox. So we have a syllabus template. This one actually is 3 tabs, so people on smaller devices don't have to scroll as much. I also have a template that's come on, 1 page, a little easier to edit, but for students on small devices, this is pretty rough to use. There are prompts in these to remind you what to do. We have a template for a schedule. So you do like read, watch, do type thing in here. I can help you with that if you want to change it a little bit. The CU resources page that we use has all the statements that are supposed to be in the syllabus that makes your syllabus so long. So we try to keep this updated. It also has student resources, including the COVID-19 stuff, has links for the library, has technical requirements.
And are those policies in that going to be updated with the social distancing and mask policies for this semester?
We update the CU resources page if we see something change. The only problem is it won't update in your course. So we give you a starting point, but you're going to have to keep it updated. But like I watch for the technical requirements if they've changed for Canvas or anything. But we try to keep this. So if you go, you drop an email and go, have any of these changed? We can tell you if they have. But this is the one that this one has done is it's got this new one that as of spring was supposed to be put in your syllabus that I noticed a lot of people haven't put in. But we do have these, and then the other template we have So a lot of people have been saying, how do I get them to respect discussions and make it more? So I've created a kind of a discussion with an example of what someone did. That template's in here. And then the other one we recommend is for each module, you create an overview page that's almost like a checklist. So in this module, you do X, Y, and Z. And put the links to everything in here. And this is it's at the beginning of each module, so students can't say, oh, I missed that I had to do this. It's in this list, print it out and check it off or cross it off, So those are the templates we have right now. As people bring up things that they do that might be a little different, we might make some more templates, but these are some basic ones. Again, I'm more than happy to copy them into your course.
Thank you. That would be great. I'll email you with that.
Sure. So Sandra, I think you're muted.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Thank you. So since you've provided a couple of templates, for example, for the course home or the syllabus, and I know you said this in an early session that I had with you, when I choose one, do I remove the other one or just unpublish it?
Yeah, so I would recommend, so for like these home pages, because we have 2 of them here, these don't need to be in your modules. I just put them there so you've got easy access to them. Mm-hmm. I would recommend you go ahead and remove the 2 and then delete this whole module. For the getting started, if you want to use these and want the 3 tab, then you just remove the 1 tab.
Yeah.
And then you want to also edit this page so it doesn't say templates.
Yeah.
Just hit edit. Remove the word templates. You could also, if you don't want them to see modules ahead of time, you can lock stuff so they can't access it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, as a student that has chronic pain issues that sometimes makes it really hard for me to concentrate, I hate it when instructors lock modules, because what I try to do is work ahead. Mm-hmm. Because I know if I have a pain episode, there are going to be maybe up to a week that I don't function well. So I like to be able to look ahead and read ahead, and if there's discussions, kind of jot my thoughts down on discussions ahead, so that if I'm having a bad week, I don't fall behind. So be aware of that when you're locking stuff so students don't have access. It might be that you don't need to give them access to the entire course, but give them enough access a week or 2 ahead that they can stay ahead if they need to. And that's really important right now with COVID, because we just had one member of our team who just lost her aunt and she's not functioning. I just had another co-worker from her previous job tell me her family's in Wuhan and she's lost her mother. So you've got to understand that right now things are not normal. So take that into consideration when you're limiting access to stuff. Let them work ahead if they need to. Other questions? Okay, so again, if you have any questions, because I know we covered a lot, if you have any questions, not sure, you go, I don't know, take a look at our tutorials, or drop an email in the chat. I put it in here, ldg@colorado.edu. Drop an email to us and one of the instructional designers will get back in touch with you and help you with something. Or if you're just like, I really need someone to walk me through this one-on-one and take their time with me, let us know. We'll get something set up. Or you can drop into our virtual office hours on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We kind of have fun in those because sometimes it's plain, let's see if we can stump the instructional designers. And then we go explore. So we take a look at stuff and try to find out. Okay?
And I would just add that we are working on creating some shells and templates that will get pushed out, and we'll support that with additional help in utilizing it. We're still working out exactly what we want to create and how we're going to push that out, but that's coming. So, Donna, this has been great. It's a great overview, and I think we had some high quality questions. Keith Graham initially gave us some good future topics to cover. Were there other questions, or Donna, did you have other sections you wanted to cover? Where do we stand?
I think I'm pretty much, because it's just kind of a basic overview of Canvas that with little hints that people don't know. So I think we're done for the day unless anybody thinks of anything else they'd like me to show you or the questions they'd like answered.
Great. Well, Donna, thank you so much. And thank you both for attending. We'll post this and we will do our next one on Monday. Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.